Welcome back to the Irish Bandit channel. I hope everybody is doing great. I am doing fantastic. We'll talk about that in another video because I'm here to talk about something very, very important to me. On November 19th, Netflix dropped the brand new live action adaptation of my all-time favorite anime, Cowboy Bebop. I have watched the complete first season and I'm here to tell you my thoughts and my overall review of what I've thought of the show itself. So, let's, okay. See, this is the thing. It's like I said, Cowboy Bebop is my all-time favorite anime. It's, this live action adaptation had a high expectations from a lot of people going into it, maybe even myself, because I love the original anime so much. It is one of the first animes that I watched. Loved it completely because of just various different elements from it, be it the characters, the music, the action, the setting, sci-fi, western, taking all of this into a nice mishmash of just an excellent series. The Netflix adaptation, the best way I can describe that is I really liked it. I didn't love it, but I really liked it. So let's talk about the good, the bad, the everything. Let's talk about Cowboy Bebop. And first and foremost, let's talk about the things that I liked about it before we get into the things that I didn't like about it, because that kind of is the bulk of this. But let's talk about the things I liked about it. I really loved that they brought the incomparable Yoko Kanno back to do the music for the show, because she is just synonymous with Cowboy Bebop. Her Yoko Kanno and Seatbelts. They did the iconic opening theme of Tank, which returns for the series, which I am so thankful for. There were a lot of musical throwbacks. In one episode, you heard Ask DNA from the Cowboy Bebop movie, Knocking on Heaven's Door. In the season 1 finale, it basically shot for shot redoes the cathedral, a shootout from Waltz for Venus, or no, Ballad of Fallen Angels. Sorry. Waltz for Venus was a different episode, but it redoes the fight between Spike and Vicious in the episode. I want to say Waltz for Venus again. That's not it. The episode Ballad of Fallen Angels. There is a shot in the show, in the Netflix series, where Spike is walking through the cathedral and Rain is playing. Now, Rain can be heard in the original show, in the original anime. Only they'd use a different version, like, the female singer who sang Rain in the original series, I can't remember her name. But in the Netflix series, they used the Steve Conti version, which I'm fine with. I love the Steve Conti version of Rain. Do I think it's iconic as the original? No, but it's just as awesome, epic, and moving. So the music, as always, was great. What else did I love about the series? I loved. Now, a lot of people have been ragging on this since the series dropped, but it's something that I really enjoyed myself, and mostly, for the most part, we're going to get into this at a later point, I mostly loved Spike's backstory. So in the original anime, we got a little bit of Spike's backstory. He was a member of the Red Dragon Syndicate along with his partner friend Vicious, and he met Julia along the way. But that's all we really knew, is that he got into a gunfight with the other members of the Red Dragon Syndicate, got out, and went to Julia to get patched up, and just kind of left the life, and everyone in the Red Dragon Syndicate assumed he died. They take things a little more differently in the live action series. His name isn't Spike throughout the entire thing. It's actually Fearless, which I kind of like myself. I know a lot of people have been ragging on that, but I really enjoyed that aspect. Different name, different identity, different everything about Spike, and to see him in this vicious persona, or Fearless persona, I'm sorry, that's the other guy. It was really interesting to get a little bit of Spike's backstory. Now, the episode 9 of season 1 probably wasn't the best episode, but at least we got that. So I really like that they kind of fleshed in Spike's backstory a little more. That was really a really nice touch. Another nice touch they did with another character was with Jet. Now, in the original series, uh, Jet's a former ISSP officer, had an ex-girlfriend who just kind of said goodbye to him. Now, he's still an ex-ISSP officer in the Netflix series, but they make him a divorced father, which I actually really enjoyed. We're going to get into characters in a little bit here next segment, but I really enjoyed that. I think Mustafa Shakir really played that excellently, being the divorced father, and you see that especially in the final episode, in episode 10. So I really, really like they did that little change with him. Another thing, one of the things that I really loved was the atmosphere, you know, with everything with a live action series, you can only do so much, unlike an animated series, because you can spend more time in space in an animated series. But live action, you know, you have a budget. You can't go over that budget. So they're going to take a lot of stuff and that's space oriented, and you're going to get more on the ground, which I'm okay with, honestly and truthfully. But the effects were fantastic. Like anytime you were aboard the Bebop, any space travel, those look so good. But the atmosphere they created with all its other places was just unique, and everything had a different look. I thought it was going to look like a live action Technicolor Sin City, but I was wrong, and I thought the changes, or not so much the changes, but what they did for the series was actually really good. So now we're going to eventually transition to the things that I didn't like about it, because the last thing that I liked about it, I think its biggest strength was also its biggest weakness, and that being the casting. So you probably heard that last part and go, well, okay, what do you mean? What do you mean its biggest weakness is also its biggest strength, or whatever? This is what I mean. When it came down to the three main leads, Spike Spiegel, Jet Black, and Faye Valentine, they nailed it. They so nailed it with the casting of John Cho, Mustafa Shakir, and Daniela Pineda. I just butchered her last name, and I am so sorry. I'll try to get right. But they nailed the casting with those three characters. It was just, I don't want to say, it wasn't perfect. Like, don't get me wrong, this was not a perfect show by any stretch of the imagination. But the casting for the three leads, I loved it. I loved what they did with Spike. I loved what they did with Jet. I especially loved what they did with Faye. To a point. Again, Daniela Pineda was such a great choice, but I don't think that they got Faye's character completely down. Like, it's not, she doesn't do a bad job at all. I thought she did fantastic. But this is a far different Faye than what we saw in the anime, because with Faye, she was a gambling addicted femme fatale who was in a lot of debt, and you also saw the Heart of Gold. I saw that in another video today. You didn't have any of that, aside from the Heart of Gold, with the live action version of Faye. Now, she's still great. She's still fantastic. She has this one line in the season 1 finale that's just made me laugh out loud. I had to rewind and watch it again because that line was so great. Yeah, it's a little Joss Whedon-y, but I loved it because I'm a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, Firefly. I love those shows. So yeah, with the main character casting, they did a fantastic job. I can't say the same with all of the casting, because now we're going to go into what I didn't like about the series. Now, I try to go into everything open mind. Like, I wasn't expecting this to be a shot for shot, totally the same as the anime. And I'm okay with that. I want new things. I don't want the first episode to be a complete retelling of Asteroid Blues. So I know that some characters are going to get changed, some characters are going to be different, but the changes that they made to Spike and Julia, I cannot get behind. I did not. Now, it's nothing against Alex Hassel, who plays Vicious. He's a great actor. But there was just something about Vicious that did not sit well with me from the first time we saw him to the last time we saw him in episode 10. Whether he went from being very wooden, very stiff, to chewing the scene at all times with the weirdest facial expressions, and that was not Vicious. This goes hand in hand with the casting of Vicious, but I think there was too much emphasis on Vicious and Julia's relationship. And Julia, that's another character that got completely butchered. Like, I'm being honest and truthful here. Because Julia was, in the original anime, Julia was on the run from the Red Dragon Syndicate. In the live action series, she's married to Vicious. And then there's this completely unearned twist in the final episode that I did not like. I hope they have something planned for season 2, if there's a season 2. I think given the fact that Cowboy Bebop was trending for so long, and even Canada, it was trending #1 on Netflix. So I think that automatically determines that there's going to be a second season. But the character of Julia and that twist at the end was just so unearned. We didn't, like, there are some twists where, oh, I didn't see that coming. But I didn't see this one coming, and there was zero build up to it at all. Like, when you see the Vicious and Julia relationship, you see how toxic and soul destroying it is for Julia. And then for that twist to come along, that was totally unearned. And now I'm ranting because I didn't like it. I did not like Vicious. I did not like Julia. So those are my major complaints that I cannot look past, honestly and truthfully. With most of my reviews, I can look past certain things. I can't look past this. Another thing I could not look past in the Cowboy Bebop series, the complete lack of character Gren had. In the original anime, we meet a saxophone player called Gren in the episodes Jupiter Jazz Part 1 and Part 2. Gren is a survivor of the Titan Wars, who he was platoon mate with Vicious during those wars. Vicious saved his life, but then turned his back on him and sent him to jail, where he had experimentation done to make him a little more androgynous. So in Jupiter Jazz Part 1 and 2, we see Gren trying to get his revenge on Vicious. In the live action series, Gren has no character aside being Anna's gopher. He's a bartender at Anna's club. Anna's another thing. I'll get into that quickly because it didn't bother me as much, but she completely changed Anna's character. In the original anime, her name was Annie. She ran a convenience store, and she was friends with Spike during his time in the Syndicate. Anna is now a bar owner, which, I mean, I didn't mind that. I loved who they cast for Anna. She did a great job. But, I mean, it's not so much the casting of Gren and what they did to him, because I thought the non-binary aspect was fantastic, because that was pretty much Gren in the original series. But Gren has done nothing of substance so far in the series. Like, maybe they're planning something more for season 2. I hope so. I really hope so, because I love to see this character fleshed out, because it's one of the best side characters in the original anime. So come on, let's do something with that. So I'm going to put a pin in that one and hope for the best for season 2. There's so much. I mean, those are my major ones so far. Anything else is just nitpicky. I'm trying to do this with as very little spoilers as I can. But from the very beginning, when this was announced, all I saw were pictures of Spike, Faye, and Jet, and Ein. Where was Ed during all this? So, watching the series, and they have one little mention of Ed, and it's like, oh, Radical Edward. Oh, the hacker? Yeah. Oh, that's it? That's all we're going to get? I think by now, enough people have watched Cowboy Bebop the series. I can talk about it. So yeah, 40 seconds away from the end of season 1, we finally get an appearance by Radical Edward. Now, I'm gonna hold off judgment on the live action character until season 2 rolls around, because I know what they're going for in season 2, or at least part of season 2. It's gonna take from the Cowboy Bebop movie with Vincent Villaju. So we'll see where that goes. I'm not gonna judge a character based on 40 seconds of screen time. I will judge the character when I see them again and they have like at least 10 minutes per episode or less. Because these episodes run from either 35 minutes to an hour long. So I'm not going to judge a character just yet. Let me see how it turns out. But I gotta say, the young actress that they got to play Ed, she put a lot of energy into the role from what I saw. So I'm looking forward to see if they can just kind of focus that energy and make Ed make it so Ed jumps off the screen. But we'll see what happens if there is a season 2, which I'm hopeful. Overall, my overall thoughts of Cowboy Bebop. It was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But I didn't expect it to be perfect. But I wanted to love it. And I didn't. Don't get me wrong, I liked it. I liked it a lot. But I didn't love it. Do I hope there's a season 2? Absolutely. I am invested. I am hooked, even with that awful ending in episode 10. I think there's a lot of redeeming qualities for this series. I think they can get back on track with everything. Bring Vicious's screen time down considerably, because we don't need all the Dutch angles and the weird facial expressions, and yeah, he was just a bitch. Like, there's no two ways about it. Vicious in this series was a little bitch, and I did not dig that, because he wasn't that way in the series. He had limited screen time in the anime, but when he was on, he made an impact. And in the Netflix series, when he's on, he's just... That's him chewing the scenery the whole time. So let's bring Vicious's screen time down. Let's bring Julia's screen time down as well. Maybe for the first half of season 2, just completely focus on the Vincent Villaju storyline. And then maybe bring Julia back midway through, like episode 5 or 6. Bring her back. It's like, oh yeah, Julia wants to run the syndicate now. So, spoilers. But I think that would really help the series a lot. But again, the things to like about it was the casting of the main cast of John Cho, Mustafa Shakir, and Daniela Pineda. Excellent, excellent, excellent. The writing is good, good to decent, not great, but good enough. The action scenes. Oh my God, I didn't talk about the action scenes. Okay. The action scenes are fantastic. I thought the fight scene that Spike had with the Syndicate Hitman in episode 2 in the bathroom was terrific. The cinematography and the choreography in that were just on point and excellent. I even said that in a tweet when I saw the first 2 episodes the day before the series dropped. The Cowboy Bebop Netflix Twitter account like that, so I'm very happy about that one. So yeah, honest opinion, there's stuff to like, there's stuff to hate. I don't know which outweighs which, but I'm gonna give season 2 a shot when or if it comes around. So overall, it was good. I liked it. Could have been better, should have been better. I give it about a 6.5 out of 10. We'll see how season 2 goes. So we'll see. But what did you think of Cowboy Bebop? Let me know in the comments section down below. In the description, you're going to see a link to all of my social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. You can find the link to my Redbubble store down there below, where you can get all your Irish Bandit merchandise. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Tap that like button if you like this video. If you're already subscribed, tap the bell and you'll be notified whenever a new video goes live. I've got stuff coming up for the Karate Kid sequel series, Cobra Kai, which you can also watch on Netflix. I'm going to have a review of season 4. Well, that's not going to be coming until 2022. So after I binge watch the entire series on December 31st, or the entire 4th season on December 31st. You know, quick side note here. I thought it's great because we started the year with season 3 of Karate Kid. We started the year with season 3 of Cobra Kai. We're ending the year with season 4 of Cobra Kai. I am in heaven. I love it, love it, love it. And be sure to stop by this coming Saturday, as I'm going to have another review coming up. It's going to be a new weekly review series where you absolutely know my love for the game Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm going to be reviewing some of the different mods that I have played for the game. And I'm going to have my first one coming up Saturday, where I'm reviewing the first mod that I played, Doki Doki Salvation. So be sure to stop by for that one. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you again very, very soon.